Hello guys, I'm here for the first of 2 videos I'm going to do tonight, because I had a small computer problem that has now been fixed, so I'm here to give the 2 retro reviews that I had planned. The first one, which is this video, is Spring Stampede 1998. Took place April the 19th, 1998 from the Denver Coliseum in Denver, Colorado. Now this might be the Pepsi Arena now, I don't really know. But anyway, our opening match is Goldberg versus Saturn. It's an okay match. It's 1.5 stars, although I'm giving an extra half a star for how Goldberg did the jackhammer in this, because it was actually innovative. He originally hit the spear, went for the jackhammer, but got interrupted. Eventually Saturn puts the rings of Saturn on Goldberg. And Goldberg breaks out of the rings of Saturn into the jackhammer and wins the match that way. That's actually innovative. I actually give a half a star for that jackhammer, because that's a very innovative spot. And it showed that actually Goldberg could, if he needed to, counter into the jackhammer out of other stuff. So, okay match. Goldberg would go on to win the U.S. Championship the next night on Nitro. So then we get Chavo Guerrero versus the Ultimo Dragon. Good match, 2 stars. Storyline going into this was Chavo had lost in an impromptu match against Eddie Guerrero, so he was forced to do what Eddie Guerrero said, but Chavo doesn't want to cheat. So the story going into this was if Chavo beat the Dragon, he would be free from Eddie Guerrero, which meant that he wouldn't have to cheat. Chavo does an inadvertent low blow off a drop kick. Eddie tells him to follow up and try to win. It doesn't work. Chavo doesn't cheat. Chavo goes for a tornado DDT, but Dragon catches him in a Dragon Sleeper, and Chavo taps out, giving the Dragon the win. So, good match, 2 stars. So then we get the WCW World Television Championship match with no time limit. One of the very few WCW Television Championship matches that did not have a time limit. This one had no time limit attached. It's Booker T versus Chris Benoit. They decided to make it no time limit due to a series of time limit draws leading into the match. So they decided not to put a time limit on this match. It's a good match. It's 2.5 stars. Although I think some of the stuff they did in the WWE was better, and their best of 7 that they had going into the Great American Bash was actually better than this anyway. All those matches were. So 2.5 stars. Finish comes when Benoit pulls referee in front of an axe kick. He locks Booker in the crossface. Booker tries to get to the ropes, and in the process taps the mat twice. And then Booker hits a standing sidekick, and that gives him the win. Good match, 2.5 stars. So then we get the British Bulldog versus Curt Hennig, in which Rick Rude is handcuffed to Jim Neidhart. It's a 1-star match, nothing special. Hennig wins when he rams Bulldog's head into the ring post and pins him, and gets the win that way after Vincent, disguised as one of Denver's finest, or Detroit's finest, if you ask Tony Schiavone. And it gives Hennig the win. 1 star. So then we get the WCW Cruiserweight Championship match. Chris Jericho versus Prince Iakea, which sort of ties into the storyline they were doing with Jericho and Malenko at this time, because Prince Iakea was trained in the Malenko Wrestling School by Dean Malenko, so he's essentially sticking up for his teacher. This is an okay match. It's not bad. It's 2 stars. Jericho eventually wins with the Walls of Jericho after 3 attempts. So, it's an okay match. Jericho, of course, would have the memorable thing at Slamboree 98, which I'll review during the Slams of May, which started on May 4th. So, yeah, good match. 2 stars. So then we get Lex Luger and Rick Steiner versus Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell. Oh, the feud of the Steiners. The feud that never gave you the full payoff match for them breaking up in February of '98. Whether they were trying to save it for Starrcade or not, I don't know. But they never did a full one-on-one match that had a clean finish, unless you count Halloween Havoc 98, which was a 5-minute match anyway. But that'll come up during WCW Tober in October, when I review all the Halloween Havocs. This is an okay tag match. It's 1 star. Luger and Rick Steiner win. Scott Steiner Buff Bagwell tried to get out of this by faking an injury to Buff Bagwell by putting a very bad cast on his hand that he didn't use, that he uses the injured hand, and it causes him to have to do the match, and Luger and Rick Steiner win. So then we get Psicosis versus La Parka. For a Lucha match, half a star, because it's a traditional Lucha match. High spot, high spot, high spot finish, which is La Parka gets tied up in the ropes, and Psicosis does the guillotine leg drop for the win. So then we get a bat match, which is a baseball bat on a pole match. Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hogan versus Roddy Piper and the Giant. 2 stars, an okay little tag match. Finish comes when Piper gets the bat, but Hogan puts it to the floor, so the Disciple brings in a bat that Hogan nails everybody with. And eventually he hits Piper with the bat, which allows him to pin Piper. Then the Disciple gives another bat, and this time he deliberately hits Nash, which officially sets up the splitting of the NWO. Well, that and what happened in the main event. So 2 stars. So then we get a Ravens Rules match for the WCW United States Championship. Diamond Dallas Page versus Raven. 2 stars. I think they actually had a much better match of Slamboree in the Bowery Death Cage match. In the Bowery Death match. But Raven wins after Horace Hogan debuts. Hits DDP with a stop sign, and Raven gives the even flow on top of a kitchen sink to win the U.S. title. A title he would hold for 1 day because he would lose it to Goldberg on the very next night. So then we get a no disqualification match for WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Doesn't make any sense that this followed a Ravens Rules match, which is no disqualification anyway. But whatever. Sting versus Macho Man Randy Savage. 2-star match here. Not a bad match, but certainly not good. But certainly not, you know. It's a good match, but not a great match. Savage wins after Kevin Nash comes in and powerbombs Sting and rolls Savage on top, which allows Savage to win. And he would hold the title for 1 night, as he would lose the title to Hogan the very next night on Nitro. And thus again split up the NWO. So 2 stars there. So our total stars out of a possible 50 is 16.5. So it would be somewhere in the D+ it would be in the D+ range. Because 19.5 to 20 or something would get it in the C- range under my grading scale. So again, not a bad pay-per-view. I think that it is easy to sit through, but certainly not the greatest. Now the next 2 Spring Stampedes, which I visit, yeah, I can't say that. This at least has some nice moments and things in it. Not for the next 2. So this will be in the Retro Wrestling Review playlist. If you like the video, like button's down there, subscribe button is down there, and thanks for watching. Bye.